So we have just taken another consideration of the solid directly converting into gaseous state. Whenever solid directly converted into gaseous state, it is called as sublimation. What is it called as? Sublimation. Well, let's see the diagram and understand it more. Easily we can understand it. Solid being heated to form liquid. So what is that called as? Fusion. Fusion. The amount of heat that you were supplying to convert the solid to liquid was actually the latent heat of, what was that? Latent heat of fusion. Now this may also be called as melting by you. Okay. So latent heat of fusion is actually the latent heat of melting. Alright. So solid can be melted or fused to form liquid when you supplied heat. Liquid can be further heated to form gas on vaporization. Gas can be further solidified. Gas molecules are very far, they can be brought closer when they are condensed. Okay, gas can be converted from gaseous molecules to solid molecules when they are condensed and compressed to a very high temperature, but very high temperature difference. Okay, very high temperature difference, because gaseous temperature would be very high and the solid's temperature required would be very low. So if gas can be directly converted into a solid state without forming liquid, okay, so here gas to solid, here there is no liquid formed. So what is this? This is called as sublimation. So when a gas is being converted into solid without forming of liquid is called as sublimation. Now the reverse can also happen. Gas can be converted into solid. So gas is going to have a lot of high temperature, isn't it? Because of high temperature, the energy between the molecules is going to be very high. Once this energy is brought down to the least amount of energy, then the molecules would lose all the energy and they would be compressed drastically to a point where they would become solid. So when all the gases in the room or in the container can be compressed to such an extent that they become solids without forming liquids, okay? Without forming liquids. So without forming liquids, if the gas is converted into solid, then it is called as deposition. What is it called as? Deposition. So if there is a gas in the room which can be compressed directly to form solid without forming liquid, then it is called as deposition. Whereas if a solid like camphor, if you put camphor on the table and you suddenly come to see it after some seconds, you'll not be able to find it. Why? Where has it gone? It's evaporated. It's volatile substance, right? So it directly went from the solid state to the gaseous state, and that is called as sublimation. Alright. Similarly, when a solid is formed, okay, it can be in the reverse order also, that you take the gas, okay, the gas can be cooled. The gaseous molecules can be cooled by condensation to form liquids, that we understood. Liquids can be cooled further to get solids. Now that is solidification, which you can also be calling it as freezing. Okay, so what is another name for melting? Fusion. What is another name for solidification? Freezing. So these are the terms that you will be needing to understand with the help of the diagram. Well, this diagram was also not much critical, was it? It was much easy, though practice is much important. For all the concepts, it is always vital that you do not forget to use the right amount of practice. Remember, all the players who are players with extreme talents have worked hard on their talent too. So it's on you now how much time you dedicate for your practice, and that is going to make you the best.